What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to be breaking down the latest news and rumors surrounding the orange and blue. And our guy, Alan Hahn, shout out to the Knicks Fix, one of the greatest Facebook pages of all time. If you know, you know. He went on to ESPN's Get Up this morning and talked about the idea, or pretty much said the Knicks are interested in Bradley Beal. So we'll break down his quotes. And then earlier this week, my guy Ian Begley of SNY talked about Kristaps Porzingis as a player the New York Knicks could potentially look to go after an NBA free agency. He talked about how it could happen and if it will happen. So we're talking Beal, we're talking Porzingis, but I'm talking about you subscribing to the channel because we put out videos every day on the latest Knicks news and rumors, and we just crossed over 25,000 subs on the channel. And I want to say thank you to everybody that has hit that sub button. And I'm going to give shout outs to people that comment me in today's video. If you're subscribed, type me, and I'm giving shout outs. Let's start with Bradley Beal, though, as ESPN's Alan Hahn brought up the idea of the Knicks trading for Bradley Beal. And he did more than just bring up the idea. There was some segment that they have now on ESPN's Get Up about Brian Windhorst, and they got on the topic of Bradley Beal, and this is what my guy Alan Hahn had to say. He said, I would imagine if Bradley Beal does become available, you would see the Knicks be very aggressive in trying to get him. You put him next to Jalen Brunson, and you got a backcourt that is one of the best in the league as far as scoring goes. Very unstoppable. He is at a point in his career where he is about winning. The Knicks have all the things the Wizards would need. And he was obviously talking about young players and draft picks. And I don't want to toot my own horn a little bit, but a month ago I said that Bradley Beal was one of the top players that I would want to pursue this offseason because Bradley Beal and Jalen Brunson, I believe, are perfect complements to each other in that backcourt. Go back to the NBA postseason when the Knicks beat the Cavs, but also when the Knicks lost to the Heat. When the Knicks were at their best, the ball was moving, the offense was running through Jalen Brunson. But they didn't have anybody else that they could run the offense through. They didn't have anyone else that could dribble the basketball, that could play, make, and get buckets for themselves. Bradley Beal, he could do that. You could legitimately have either Bradley Beal or Jalen Brunson on the floor at all times and have a great guard to run the offense. My concerns with Bradley Beal, though, are injuries and contract. We'll talk about that. But when you talk about Bradley Beal, he's one of the best pure scorers in the NBA. That's why the guy in 2019 and 2020 averaged over 30 points per game. Came down to 23 points per game in the last two seasons. But I'll take a guy that's giving me 23 points per game, 5 assists, 50+% from the deck, and 36.5% from downtown. And I think the way that he goes about scoring, his shot profile and his offensive archetype fits perfectly. He can come off back screens. He can come off a pin down. He can run sideline to sideline. And he can ISO score and take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hand. But like we talked about, the games missed and the injuries are a concern. You saw on screen he hasn't played over 50 games in the last two seasons. And also, he's due a lot of freaking money. $46 million this upcoming year, then 50, then 53, then 57. Then he would be a free agent in 2027 as he's 34 years old. Also, he has a no-trade clause. So if the Washington Wizards were to move on from Bradley Beal, he gets to choose where his next destination would be. And I think he would accept a trade to the New York Knicks. But as I do have my concerns, I want to put this out in the air. The perfect player does not exist. You can legitimately find a hole in every single person's game. Jokic, he's slow and unathletic. Giannis, he can't shoot. Steph Curry, he's got ankle problems and he's small. LeBron James, he's got a bad hairline and he's never been a clutch player. You can find something to gripe about with every single player. So the idea that we don't want to make a move for a player because they have a blemish is something that I can't just rock with anymore. Bradley Beal will be a great player for the Knicks to go out and make a move for. And now is the time to make a trade for the New York Knicks. One, because they have a win-now roster and a team that should be trying to compete for a Larry O'Brien trophy. Two, the new CBA kicks in the 2024 season, and it is much harder to acquire players of high salary cap numbers. It's going to be much harder for teams to pull off trades in this new CBA. The time for the Knicks to strike, The time for the Knicks to go out and make a move for a star is now. Reason I didn't say superstar is because there are no superstars available. So before we talk about Kristaps Porzingis, I want to get you guys involved in the comments section. Should the Knicks trade for Bradley Beal? Alan Hahn thinks so. I think so. It always comes down to the cost. Probably going to have to give up R.J. Barrett or Julius Randle. So factor that in. Couple of first-round picks as well. Should the Knicks make a move for Bradley Beal? Type T for trade, P for pass. We're talking Tingus Pingus in just a second. But first, I got an awesome deal that you guys should take advantage of. When you go to chatsports.com/KnicksCombo, chatsports.com/KnicksCombo, you get 2 T-shirts. Two T-shirts for $29.99. You can barely get a chopped cheese these days for $29.99. Get yourself 2 Knicks T-shirts. Deal's not going to last forever, so go down in the comments section and click the link and get to shopping, or just go to chatsports.com/KnicksCombo. All righty, good old Kristaps Porzingis. A lot of smoke has been surrounding the Knicks and Kristaps Porzingis and a potential reunion. Porzingis has been on the record saying they didn't like the way things unfolded during his time with the New York Knicks, said it was his favorite place to play, said that he didn't think that the Knicks and MSG was like that. He thought he could go and find that everywhere else. And he realized as soon as he started to play for the Mavericks and the Washington Wizards, there's no better franchise to play with than the New York Knicks. I think Porzingis wants to be a Knick again. Thing is, how can the Knicks make that possible? Ian Begley via SNY said this: the Knicks don't have the cap space to sign Porzingis, so they need to add him via a sign-and trade with Washington. Porzingis would help the Knicks spread the floor for Brunson, RJ, and Julius Randle, although Randle or Barrett would probably be in the trade. Any sign-and-trade for Porzingis would also likely include Mitchell Robinson if the Knicks withheld Barrett or Randle from the deal. The prospect of bringing Porzingis back to New York on a long-term deal may look good on paper, but it would be a significant commitment for the Knicks, and it doesn't seem like a path they'd go down at this time. My first reaction to all of this, and it always is the fit is intriguing, no doubt about it. Because when you talk about the Knicks' best players, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, and it's really the case with all good offensive players. They operate best in space. And having Mitchell Robinson at the 5 kind of clutters the paint. It kind of clutters the spacing. Throw in a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who shot 38.5% from downtown this year, and how the Knicks know that, Knicks fans especially, know that Porzingis is one of the best shooting bigs in the NBA, that's going to open up the floor. More driving lanes for Brunson, more driving lanes for Barrett or Randle, whichever one you keep. We know that. It's just I have concerns. I know the numbers look great. 23 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, 50% from the deck, and 38.5% from downtown. And Porzingis was relatively healthy this year. Played the most games in an NBA season in a long, long time for him. But the injuries still concern me. He's not getting any younger. He's not getting any shorter. Tall, lengthy athletes like Kristaps Porzingis concern me. It also concerns me that in the 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 season, the guy played in 199 games. You don't just shake being an injury-prone player. It stinks. This isn't Vegas. It sticks with you. You're going to be injury-prone your entire NBA career. Would Porzingis make the Knicks better? I agree. But I'm just not sure it's worth it. Is it worth giving up R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson? I don't know. And the Kristaps Porzingis back to the Knicks rumors are fun, no doubt about it. There's nothing like getting together with your homies that you grew up with, throwing back some shots, throwing back some beers, and reminiscing of the glory days. But it's time to close the yearbook. It's over. It's done with. You're never going to do the things you want to do with that one girl from high school. It's done. Close the book. It's over. You're on to bigger and better things. Thanks, but no thanks, Tingus Pingus. I don't think the Knicks should bring him back. But hey, this show's not all about me, and I value the opinion of everybody that watches this program. So I want to ask you, should the Knicks bring back Porzingis? Do you want to see him back with the Knicks? I have a feeling I know what everyone's going to say. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I do know this. If we do get more news and rumors surrounding Porzingis, Beal, or the New York Knicks, we're going to put out a video. So make sure you subscribe. Go ahead and do it right now. Hit that big red button.